In today's first reading, the prophet Haggai describes a problem that is timeless. In other words, it's a problem that we human beings have been dealing with since the beginning of our human race, and that is the problem of dissatisfaction. So he says, you people eat, but you're not filled. You people drink, but you still thirst. Your thirst is not quenched. You clothe yourselves, but you're not warm. Sound familiar? So these days, he could have added to that list, you people increase your data plans to 20 gigs, 50 gigs, 70 gigs, and you're still unsatisfied. So it's the oldest problem in history, dissatisfaction. It's so old that Adam and Eve first got all of us in trouble because they were dissatisfied in the Garden of Eden and all the gifts that God gave them. What's the solution to dissatisfaction? Well, in the same passage in the prophet Haggai, the Lord gives a solution a few lines down. So he says to Israel, build me a house. He says, go to the mountains, get wood, and build me a house. Now, obviously, it's probably not practical for everyone to start building their own physical parishes as a remedy for their dissatisfaction. But here's the idea. There's something satisfying about going somewhere else to encounter God. So I'll say that again. There's something very satisfying about leaving the space of your everyday life and going out to a place specifically meant for having an encounter with God. A good example of this is a church, which is what churches are meant for. They're not meant just to celebrate the Eucharist, but to be houses of prayer where you can just go in the course of a busy day to have a moment of silence. But it doesn't have to be a church. I know many cultures have the custom of building a mini altar in maybe like a separate room in their home that's meant for prayer. Many Jewish people to this very day, each year build what's called a temporary sukkah, or a mini tent on their front porch or their balconies as like a special encounter place with the Lord in prayer. But however you want to do this, maybe just have an identifiable place in your own world, okay, whether it be in your house or a specific location where you can go out to encounter God. In other words, don't let your relationship with God just be reduced to an abstract idea that you think about occasionally, maybe on your commute to work, and you call that prayer. But instead have a specific place where you can go to be alone with God. Whatever you choose to do, or however the plan looks like, however you're going to make that happen, just know that there's something, again, very satisfying about going to another place that's not where you are to encounter God.